going on, YouTube? Here with another project. This is my Kubota L2650. I picked this up for quote-unquote scrap metal pricing. Runs great, but the clutch engages very, very abruptly. And when I took the access cover off in here, I could see that one side of the disc had a lot of material and the other side had none. So actually the side against the flywheel, it looks to be wiped clean. So here's the importance of actually printing the manual. I was looking at a very small screen and all I saw was a few mechanical adjustments on the arms, of course. Okay, looked right over this because I wasn't paying attention and the font was so small. Dual clutch. What is that bolt? That is the bolt that's in your dual clutch assembly, and that's your flywheel right here. It even specs out your clearances of what you should have. Like I said, my bolt was flat against the flywheel itself, therefore the friction material and the bolts were hitting at the same time. It says make sure 3/4 turnout counterclockwise to give 0.9 to 1 millimeter of clearance, and it even gives you in inches too. So I will be pulling the inspection cover off and we're going to be adjusting these bolts to spec. I'm going to guess that mine are a little over spec, but it's a general idea. I want this to be the first thing you see in the video so you know exactly how to adjust a dual clutch Kubota tractor. Now let's get to the actual video where I'm actually doing it the hard way and splitting the tractor and looking at the clutch and the whole 9 yards. And I've already built some uprights out of angle iron to support the engine, and then I'm going to roll the transmission away on a jack stand or floor jack. Well, there's a lot of sheet metal on these tractors, unfortunately. This 50 series comes with like way too much sheet metal. It looks nice, but it made it kind of a pain to get everything off. Also a note, my shuttle shift lever is like unbelievably loose, so this is neutral. And that's how much throw it has before. And one of the problems is this spline shaft down here has developed a lot of play. I'm actually gonna take that off, cut the bottom, maybe give it a hammer, re-weld it, try to tighten that up. And all my shift linkage actually here was good, but I was missing a bolt right here for my gear shifter. It made this super sloppy, so just go took it all apart. I was able to find a lot of problems, but let's get this tractor split. It's really not that bad. You're gonna undo your bolts and a few studs. As you can see there, I think there's 2 studs. Yeah, and that helps. Actually 3 studs. It helps align everything up. There's your 2-stage clutch. We're gonna pull that off next. I believe just 3 bolts hold that on. That's what I was told. I'll have to confirm that, but we're gonna get this off and we're gonna see what that clutch plate looks like. You can leave the gas tank on. The only linkage you need to unhook is your throttle linkage. Right here, I did unhook my hydraulic, my high pressure line and my return line. I did drain all my fluid because this tractor is new to me, but very used. So I broke the hard line that goes right there. Took that out as well. So I'm not sure if you can probably pull this thing with the hard line, but it would have been in the way of my bracket right here that I made to hold the engine up. So for me, I had to pull it. If you're doing a service this big, you might as well do a trans fluid swap anyway. Well, when I pulled it out, I learned something. First, there's still clutch material on both sides of this clutch. That's a fair amount. That's a fair amount. This clutch is still good. So now that we have the clutch cleaned and ready to go back in, show you real quick. I mean, it literally still looks good. I went ahead and cleaned this bearing that rides on the input shaft. It felt a little, I don't know, just a little bit gritty. So I ended up putting this 10 millimeter in it and spun it with the impact while running brake cleaner through it to get all the old grease out. And then I used a center punch right there, put grease in the hole, and then actually just slightly tapped with a hammer. It lets the grease push through the bearing races. So just a quick little tip while you have it apart. If that bearing is frozen or feels really gritty, take it out. That bearing felt completely smooth, just for good measure. Gonna put some fresh grease in it. Throw out bearing. I mean, it's silent and it has 0 play, so I'm not gonna change that either. I'm gonna go the cheap route on this. This is gonna be the adjust and grease fix for getting that clutch pedal to get some throw back in it. So now we're back with the tractor. Have my feeler gauge. This is gonna be 0.20 plus the 0.80. I think it's just 1 millimeter. I'm gonna show you the adjustment bolt and what it should look like. So this bolt right here, mine was actually touching the flywheel, and now you can see I get my feeler gauge underneath it. This is a loose spec, but that is what it should look like. And then obviously you're going to hold that down with a wrench, and then the flathead so the flywheel doesn't move, and that way we can tighten all this down. Really straightforward. I wish I would have read those directions from the very beginning, because I made a lot of work for myself. All right, now all 3 bolts are adjusted. I rotated around to each one, and we got them all to spec of 1 millimeter. Now we're gonna fire it up, and we'll test the clutch. All right, guys, there you have it. That is how you properly fix a dual stage Kubota clutch. Learn from my mistakes, because I did a lot of work for no reason, but it was a learning tool for both of us. So if you like this video, I'm gonna include a link to a playlist, and there will be more videos of this soon, painted and actually looking good. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.